Hey everybody, Link Light here. Welcome back to my channel, and yes, today we are 24 years of Blastoise. We're going to go through the artworks of Blastoise from the last 24 years. So if you're thirsty for some Blastoise artwork cards and all that information, you come to the right place because we're going to have a lot of hydration pumped on us. You like that pun? So let's get started. And please like and subscribe. Alright, for starters, we have this 1995 Top Sun Japanese Blastoise. And in my last video, I had stated something about the blue backs and green backs. I want to retract that information because I'm not 100% sure that is accurate upon finding this card that is actually a Top Sun card. And I also come to find out that these cards actually may have actually been released in 1997, even though it says 1995. I do know that a lot of earlier Japanese Pokemon cards do have the wrong dates on them. So as far as I know, this is actually printed in 1997, but we will just say 1995 regarding what the PSA or Beckett slabs say when you get the card graded. This card is going for a whopping $20,000 in a PSA 10. One just went off and was sold for that amount and on eBay on a PWCC auction. I was pretty amazed that the card really went for that much value, but really just shows the Pokemon market today in 2020. And in PSA 10, there is about 12 of these in existence. So this card right here, let me know what you guys think about it. It's a holographic, one of the original artworks of Blastoise. And you can look to buy a Top Sun booster pack for a chance to pull this magnificent 20,000 card for around $500. Next up, we have this Blastoise Techno from the Topps Chrome. So this is a Topps Chrome Techno card. This is the highest rarity in the Topps Chrome sets. And again, a lot of sports cards collector kind of know that the Chrome sets of sports cards sometimes are pretty popular. However, with Pokemon, just never really caught on as well. And I think this may have been the only time Topps actually did a Topps Chrome Pokemon set. May have been licensing issues, not 100% with that. This card actually in the PSA 10 is so rare. I believe right now there's only 3 PSA 10 copies, and there is actually no sales data on this card for PSA 10, with there only being 3. I assume the owners of these cards do not want to sell, with it only being such a rare item. And I would guess, this is just my guess, this card is anywhere between 10,000 and 20,000. If you've seen the Top Sun card that was about 20,000, and you've seen how much PSA 10 there was, just kind of doing my analysis, guessing, again this is just my guess, I would say between $10,000 and $20,000 for this card that only has, again, 3 PSA 10s. Not a big fan of the artwork. Let me know what you guys think. And also to buy this pack, if you would even like to buy this pack, you would have to spend around, again, $500 just to be able to pull this card from a pack. The next card is a lot of people's favorite or second favorite Blastoise card. This is the Dark Blastoise from the Team Rocket set. A very popular set. One of my favorite sets growing up as a kid. Don't know about you guys. Let me know in the comments if the Team Rocket set was one of your favorite sets as well growing up. Again, this card comes in a first edition and a regular edition card. The unlimited version of this card in PSA 10, there are around 44 copies, and it would roughly cost you, I would say, around $2,000. The last one wasn't sold until July, but with the market being so crazy as it is, I would just assume it would cost somewhere around $2,000 to get the unlimited version in a PSA 10. And booster packs are going up in price. Right now, if you found a pack for around $300, that would be a good deal, but the booster boxes are going up in price, so not sure how long that would be the price of an unlimited Team Rocket booster pack. On the other hand, the first edition Dark Blastoise has about 167 PSA 10s, but it goes for a price of around $5,000. Last one was sold mid-October for that amount. And it's to get a booster pack to have a chance to pull this card, we're looking close to around $800 now. Early this year in 2020, first edition packs were going for maybe $200. 2020 has definitely been a crazy year for Pokemon. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this more popular Blastoise artwork card. We have this Blastoise, beautiful Blastoise artwork from Expedition base set. I don't know about you, but me personally, this might be my favorite Blastoise artwork. Just look at how magnificent. To me, I'm really about, again, the artwork on the Pokemon cards, and I really just think this card just does a great job of hitting us with such imagery. This is one of two variants of artwork in the Expedition base set. Here is the other artwork. Not really feeling this one. This one is kind of, you can see that it's an animated one. I'm not a big fan of it, so you could be the judge. But this one right here, I'm definitely a fan of this one. Definitely would like to get this card in a PSA 10 in my collection. And if I can't, however, I will just settle for a card, but I definitely would like this card in my collection. In a PSA 10, this card is going for $2,000, and there's about 48 cards in a PSA 10 so far registered, which is actually surprising that with there being such a little amount of PSA 10s, that this card is only going for around $2,000. To possibly pull this card from a pack, an Expedition base set, you're going to look to spend around $500, $600, and depending when you're watching this video, it may be around $1,000 by the time most of you are going to watch this video. We have this 2001 Japanese versus Blastoise. Not focusing too much on the Japanese sets on here. We're really trying to focus on the English sets, but I figured since I talked about this set in the Charizard episode, we would touch on the Blastoise version of the card. This artwork is not too bad. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm okay with it. It may be just me, but if you look at it, it kind of makes Blastoise look like a pit bull in the head, or it kind of looks like more of a dog in the face. That's just me. Let me know again in the comments what you guys think about that. On the flip side, compared to the Charizard version of the Versus card, this card is a lot more accessible. Again, booster packs cost about $500. This card in a PSA 10 is only going for around $200, and you compared it to the $1,000 that the Charizard was going for. You're better off just, if you can find it online, which you don't see it pop up a lot, but if you see it pop up, you should be able to right now buy it for around $200. So you're better off doing that than spending the $500 for the booster pack. So let me know in the comments below what's your thoughts on this Japanese versus common card that didn't come in a holographic. Next up, we have this Fire Red and Leaf Green Blastoise. This is the first EX era Blastoise. As you can see from the border here, the diamond effect border, crystal, whatever you want to call it, I actually kind of like that. I kind of think they should bring that back for certain cards, maybe special. Like, imagine Amazing Worlds had this border. I think that would be really cool. At the time, I don't think people liked it. It was something new they were trying. But Pokemon, I think you guys should try it again. This card in a PSA 10 just recently sold for $5,200 mid-October. And in a PSA 10, there's about 101 copies. So there's fairly not a lot. A Fire Red and Leaf Green booster pack will cost around $200. So if you like your hand at trying to pull this Blastoise card and possibly getting a PSA 10 worthy quality, again, it'll be about $200 to be able to pull this card. Let me know the artwork. I'm not a big fan of the artwork. Let me know your thoughts and your comments on this artwork. Now we have a Blastoise card that many may not recognize. This is from a time where a lot of people weren't in the Pokemon area or playing with the TCG cards and kind of just out of Pokemon in general. This is the Blastoise from the Pop Series 3. This card, all Pop Series cards, if you're not aware, they come not holographic. However, this card was able to get in a holographic, but that was only through, promotional blister packs. The non-holo version of this card is actually the more rare version of this card because, again, Pop Series packs did not come in a holographic. That's why you can't even weigh them to know which ones have the holographics or the better pricey cards, especially with Gold Star hunting that we'll definitely get into an episode when we start focusing on the Eevee Evolution artworks. For the holo version, there is actually 0 PSA 10s. There's only 2 PSA 9s, and in total, for the holo version, there's only 5 cards total, and there's no sales data because who wants to sell this Blastoise? I mean, if you have a Blastoise, who would want to sell that? Similar to the holo version, there is not a lot of cards in this set. There's only 11 total PSA cards registered, and in a PSA 10, there's only about 5 of them. And to pull a booster pack, you're looking at $50, which is not a lot of money compared to some vintage stuff. But with cards only coming in 2 in a pack, you're going to be spending $50 often if you were to try to pull this card. With there being so many cards only available in PSA, there's no sales data. So who really knows how much this card is going for? Let me know in the comments below how much you think this card is going for, and also your thoughts on the artwork. I'm not a fan of it. I don't love it. Alright, getting to one of my favorite newer sets that I missed out on and got back into. This is the 2006 Crystal Guardians era. We have 2 different Blastoise from this era. We have the Delta Species Blastoise, which I actually thought was more popular, but then we have the holo version that is not a Delta Species Blastoise. And this card, surprisingly, actually goes for a lot of money, but that just shows a lot of people didn't really care for the Delta Species, or maybe a lot of people really aren't aware of it yet. But yes, I was actually shocked. Let me know in the comments which one do you guys think actually should cost more. So we'll start with the Delta Species version of Blastoise. This is Blastoise, as you can see, as a fighting type. That was with the Delta Species cards. That was the Pokemon with a different energy type than their original energy type. I actually really like the artwork. Looks like Blastoise is he's having a time of his life and all that stuff. So I definitely like the artwork. In a PSA 10, there's about 41 copies of this Delta Species Blastoise. And lastly, it recently got sold for about $1,700 in a PSA 10 mid-October. Now, the regular version of the Blastoise, I like this version as well. Again, my personal favorite is the Delta Species version, but this version is not as bad either. I definitely still like this one as well. This one has a much lower PSA 10 count. That may be why it costs a little more to get this card. In a PSA 10, there's only about 11 counted for as of 2020, and it goes for around $20,000. But you're in luck. You could possibly pull this from a Delta Species pack right now for only $172. That is not super pricey compared to a lot of vintage packs. So definitely I would play my chances and possibly buy a pack to pull one of these 2 Blastoise artworks. Let me know which of the 2 artworks is your folks' favorite. The next Blastoise card is a card a lot of people may not be familiar with. This is the Blastoise card released with the Diamond and Pearl era, the Secret Wonders set. And if I do say correctly, this is the only Blastoise card released in the Diamond and Pearl era. Not a big fan of the artwork. Again, I'm super big on the artwork. It takes a lot to get me to really just be wild with the artwork. It's not bad as well, but again, it could be better. In a PSA 10, this card has a very low pop. There's only registered 5 PSA 10s. The last one sold for around $800, and I would probably say it could possibly be around 1,000 or more now. Booster packs still aren't super expensive for this Diamond and Pearl Secret Wonder set. You can buy booster packs for around $50, which again for vintage stuff, if you're paying between $50 to $100, I would say even $100 to $200. Anything under $200 for vintage packs is definitely doable and reasonable. But again, depending on when you're watching this, those packs could be a lot more now. Again, this next Blastoise we're about to show, a lot of you may not even remember this card. I haven't seen it. Prior to doing this for you guys, I didn't even know this card existed as well. This is the Blastoise from the Platinum base set. This card is absolutely so rare to get in a PSA 10. I just honestly think right now it's because a lot of people are really just getting back into Pokemon, and during the Platinum era, a lot of people weren't into it. There's only actually 5 PSA 10s on record right now, and there's no sales data because this card, I mean, if you have such a low pop card in a PSA 10, who's gonna sell it? I mean, I wouldn't. So it's hard to really speculate on the market what this card could be worth. In a PSA 10, this card only has about 6 cards in a PSA 10. Very low pop count. Again, low time. A lot of people weren't in the Pokemon TCG during the Platinum era. So there's no sales data. So who knows how much this card could really go for. It could go for a lot. It could go for a little. We all know it really just depends on market demand. Booster packs are currently only going for $40. So definitely I would play my hand at buying a booster pack and having the possibility to pull this artwork of this Blastoise. Not one of my favorite artworks, but this artwork definitely can grow on me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Moving along, we have this dope artwork from Heart Gold Soul Silver. This is from the Unleashed set that was released during the Heart Gold and Soul Silver era. I really like this artwork. It really shows Blastoise as a Ninja Turtle. He may be the 5th missing member to the Ninja Turtles that we just never knew about. As beautiful as this artwork is, there is 0 PSA 10s and there's only about 5 PSA 9s on record right now, and not much sales data. I would guess if somebody got a PSA 10, if they wanted to sell it, they would probably sell it for around $500 to $1,000. And to buy a booster pack right now for a Heart Gold Soul Silver Unleashed set, you can buy booster packs for around $40, and you can buy blisters for around $100. Blisters are becoming a lot more popular with Pokemon cards when people who like to buy a sealed product, because it just has that more nostalgia feel to it. So if you can, I would definitely say going more towards the blister pack than a regular pack, but it all depends on what you can afford and stuff like that. Let me know what you guys think of the Ninja Turtle Blastoise card here. Now, we're moving on to the mid 2010s. This is the first full art Blastoise. I actually like this card. It comes from the XY base set. I believe this is one of 3 artworks in that set. However, this is the first full art Blastoise card. I definitely like this card and I would recommend. Again, I'm not a Pokemon professional or investor. However, if you're looking to buy a Pokemon card, I believe this card right here has the potential to go up in value, with it being the first ever full art Blastoise card. This set is not really old, and with that being said, however, there's only 15 PSA 10s of this card. I couldn't find much sales data, but the last 9 sold for around $200. So I would assume you double that, the PSA 10, maybe somewhere around $500, $600, maybe less. There just wasn't enough information to acquire on that. Booster packs are still pretty affordable. This set is only 6 years old, so it's only going to cost you around $30 US to buy a booster pack. I definitely would like to add an XY booster box in my collection. The booster box is going around $1,000. It's starting to get up there, but if you save within a few months, you should be able to possibly buy a booster box and add it to your collection. Come on, let's be real. You guys really think I was going to do a Blastoise episode and not talk about the hottest current set in November of 2020, Pokemon Evolutions? This is the Mega Blastoise EX. It's one of 3 Blastoise variations, but this is the most expensive and I would say popular Blastoise card. I actually really like this card, and yes, it's in English. It just has the Mega Evolution. Some of them had the Japanese writing on it, which I think is actually pretty cool. This is definitely in my top 5 Blastoise artworks. In PSA 10, this card has about 814 copies. Again, Evolution was one of the most printed sets to date, if not the most printed set to date. You can buy a PSA 10 for around $200, so not bad. So with that being said, I would definitely try my hands at trying to pull this, or not pull, but buy this Blastoise artwork card. I really like the artwork again with the Japanese thing going here. I really like how they added that to the cards. Definitely my top 5 Blastoise artworks. If you don't want to try your hand at just buying the card raw, you can buy a booster box for around $500, which is kind of crazy to me because earlier this year, that same box was literally sitting at $100. But again, it's all supply and demand. Let me know in the comments below, is this your favorite Blastoise from the XY Evolutions era? Our second to last Blastoise on this episode is this Rainbow Secret Rare Full Art from Unbroken Bonds. This is a set that was currently released last year in 2019. This is the first full art secret rainbow rare Blastoise, so I believe this card has a lot of potential to grow in the future with rainbow rares really being a thing right now, and it started in the Sun and Moon era. So this card definitely has some high future collectability and can definitely grow a lot in value in the next couple years. I'm not a big fan of the artwork. I think the XY base set full art was better, but again, this is a rainbow rare, so it definitely trumps that original first full artwork in my opinion. Right now in the PSA 10, there's about 227 copies of this Blastoise card. You can buy this card for around $500, and a booster box is still somewhat cheap. You could buy a booster box for around $200. I myself would try my hand at buying a booster box and possibly pulling this card and get it graded, especially with the booster box prices being only $200, and they may actually go lower if Pokemon decides to do another reprint. But we all know, if we're familiar with Pokemon, they say a lot of sets are out of print, and the next thing you know, they will reprint a set like this year where they reprinted Ultra Prism and put them in stores across America. Our last and final card is this Blastoise and Piplup Rainbow Rare GX Tag Team card from Cosmic Eclipse. This was the last Pokemon set released in the Sun and Moon era, and the last set to be released in the end of last year, 2019. As of recording this video, it hasn't even been a full year since that set was released. Towards the end of November, it will be a full year that the set was released. This card comes in a non-Rainbow Rare version as well, and there's also 2 other tag team artwork cards of the Piplup and Blastoise card. I'm a huge fan of the tag team cards. I think they look really cool. I think the whole tag team concept with the Pokemon cards was really underrated. I personally believe the tag team concept of Pokemon cards will go up in a few years if the demand continues to rise. A lot of people will come back and look at these sets and be like, wow, the tag team concept was really dope. In a PSA 10, this card right here has about 70 copies, and you could buy this card in the Rainbow Rare version for about $400, which is not bad. A booster box is going for around $200, and again, the set was released last year, so it's a $100 jump from the price last year. But I would take my chances of buying the booster box to be able to pull this card and send it in to possibly get a PSA 10. Alright, thank you so much for watching this episode 24 years of Blastoise. It was such a blast going through all the Blastoise artworks with you guys. Again, don't forget to comment and let me know what is your favorite Blastoise artwork from this episode, and let me know if this helped you when you're looking to buy Blastoise cards.